In this video, we're gonna take a look at some more products from Teelaunch for your print-on-demand business. Then we'll take a look at some possible niche ideas, and I'll give you my final conclusion on Teelaunch and whether I think it's a good option for print-on-demand sellers. Before we jump into this, I wanna mention if you missed the first video I did on Teelaunch, which I will link to in the description and in the corner right now, I would recommend checking out that video as well, because in the first video, I did a general walkthrough of the Teelaunch website and the listing creation process and the account settings, and we also looked at a couple t-shirt samples. In this video, we're gonna look at 3 more products: a mug sample, a tote bag sample, and a decorative custom cutting board. First up, the super simple white 11-ounce mug. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure District Photo is the printing production partner for Teelaunch on mugs, at least the white mugs and possibly also their black mugs. But they have a lot of drinkware options, and it's kind of a strength of Teelaunch, I think. As far as the white mug sample, the shipping on it was exactly the same as what I've seen from District Photo from Printify. It's that styrofoam cube that they ship this in. And the print quality on this sample that I got is overall good. I would say the centering is good on both the left and right side. The quality of the print overall is also good. The colors are vibrant and true to the original design. I'll show you the original design image next to the actual mug on the screen. I'm happy with this result. I think it's perfectly clear and crisp. You really only notice kind of a little bit of softness to edges when you get real up close to it. We'll look at pricing and the other sizes they have available in the catalog in just a minute, but in general, I don't have any complaints about the mug sample. Let's talk about the tote bag here. Now, this is their generic, I think their lowest cost tote bag that they have available with the square corners. They also have a gusseted corner tote bag that's the same material, I believe, the same canvas, but it's a little bit higher in price because it's just a little bit of a fancier design, I guess you could call it, with the gusseted corners. This canvas, I will say, compared to other samples I've gotten from other companies on their sort of budget lower end, the material's a little bit thicker, a little bit rougher feeling. It's not quite as like soft and packable feeling, but it does feel like it probably will kind of loosen up, soften up over time a little bit. It does have pretty good stitching quality overall. The print quality on it, I have personally found that on most cotton canvas bags come out just a little softer than they would with other print types, because the wicking nature of this type of fabric, it just kind of like, it takes in the ink and then it spreads out a tiny bit. So again, overall, I'm happy with the print quality. The size of the print area on it, I think, is also nice. You could definitely put a nice big design. So overall, no major complaints about the tote bag either, and I think depending on, the price, this could be a very viable option. The last sample I have here is something that I cannot get from other print-on-demand platforms, at least not the ones I use. They have a few different cutting boards in their catalog, Teelaunch does, and this is the oval-shaped one, which has the curved edges. It's just sort of a raw wood finish to the top, and this is, I'm gonna have to look up the name. I'll put it on the screen, the name of the actual process for this. But the main reason I wanted a sample of this was just to see if this was good enough quality to give as a gift, because with the basically infinite designs that you can put on these, they could make a great personalized gift. There are a couple larger sizes, and as I mentioned, there are a couple other types of cutting boards in their catalog, but because this is a raw wood finish, this doesn't have like a wax or a protective coating on it. It just feels like completely sealed wood. So I would not be putting a bunch of food on this. I wouldn't be cutting food on this. So this is more of a decorative cutting board that you would give to somebody, like a housewarming gift with a couple's name on it, or just like a cute gift item like I have here, like, a family name or a person's name, like coffee roasters, something like that. So considering it as like a gift item, I think the quality of it is perfectly fine. The printing method is interesting. It's nice that it's got a little texture. There's some fine detail in the coffee cup graphic that was in this design, and it came out actually very nicely. So overall, I would say this is a viable option, but we need to go look at the price and make sure that it's reasonable for what it is. All right, now that we've seen the samples, let's take a look at the pricing for these and the design process a little bit. And then let's take a look at some possible niche ideas on whether these can actually be profitable for your print-on-demand business. All right, let's start things out with the cotton tote bag here. The pricing on Teelaunch for the regular tote bag, which has the square corners, so this tote bag is the sample we got, is $5.75, and the shipping for the US is $5.50. So let's calculate a price here for that. I'm going to use Everbee's Etsy profit calculator here. I've actually started using this just recently instead of my old favorite calculator, because this gives you a little more control and gives you a little bit more of a breakdown of everything. So I just have the Everbee Chrome extension open here, and the Etsy calculator is one of the options under research tools. And I'm just finding it really helpful and easy to use, and I don't have to navigate to another site to use it. I can just pop open my Etsy Chrome extension here for Everbee and get the calculator. So let's put in in our cost of item and shipping cost of item as $5.75 and $5.50. So it's already telling us on the right here our total cost is $11.25 for the tote bag. Now we just need to start guessing at our sales and shipping prices that we want to charge and see what we can get here for a profit margin. I'm going to want to get at least 30% here, so I'm going to try starting with $15.99. Oops, if I can type, $15.99 there as our product price. Let's start by putting $3 for shipping and see what we get here. That bumps my profit up to $5.49 or 28.9%. So not quite there where I want to be. Let's put in $4 and that looks pretty good to me. So $6.39 profit margin. Almost 32% profit margin there. If I charge $15.99 for the tote bag and then my shipping profile, I would set that to a $4 shipping price. And I think that's fairly reasonable for a tote bag. I don't think most customers would abandon the cart over a $4 shipping charge. While we're here, one thing I also like about Everbee's calculator is that you can easily factor in if you're going to offer any discounts. So let's say I offer my repeat customers, I give them a 15% off coupon code whenever they purchase. So let's say a repeat customer came back and bought another one of these, and I'm just going to put in 15% here as the discount. What would my profit be in that case? Well, that 15% discount would take my profit down to $4.22 or just about 24%. So if I get a lot of my sales from repeat customers who often are using that 15% off coupon I'm sending out, then maybe I would price this a tiny bit higher to account for that. But I do like that Everbee makes it really easy for you to factor that in and see what impact that discount's going to have. All right, so now let's take a quick look and just see if we can get any fast ideas for tote bag designs. One thing I personally like about selling tote bags is I think t-shirt designs translate pretty well over to tote bags, so they're very easy, in my opinion, to just put a bunch of your designs. If you already have a lot of designs, you can get a lot of them onto tote bags and make some additional sales. But let's take a look at what Everbee might tell us here as far as some niche ideas for tote bags. So if we just run a super basic search on Etsy for the words tote bag, which I would normally not do to start my investigation of niches because that is so general, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use my Everbee Chrome extension here to pop open the product analytics first. So first I'm going to take a look at product analytics, then we'll take a look at keyword research. Our product analytics is going to analyze the listings that show up on that search page, and it's going to give us a lot of helpful statistics. Now you do have to have the growth plan or higher in order to see everything. If you have one of the free accounts, you can see some of this data, but not all of it. One thing that I find really helpful about Everbee's Chrome extension is the ability to filter and sort. So what I'm going to do is use the sorting abilities here to sort the monthly sales highest to lowest. Basically, I want to look at the top selling items for that basic search for tote bags. And what I want to do is look for some common themes here amongst the tote bags that are selling a lot. So start to look through these product names here and just see if we notice anything. We've got a bridesmaid gift tote bag here, which is personalized, it looks like. We've got a beach bag, which is personalized with names. The top seller here is a custom tote bag with a custom text on it. Another tote bag that's customized with a graphic and a name here. More and more of these are looking customized. So here's an example. Actually, here's a good example because this one is clearly a product that could be print on demand. This might even be a print on demand listing. So this is just printed text on a super basic canvas tote bag. And now this listing is using a tactic where it's listing the lowest cost item, which is not actually the tote bag. So if we look at their pricing, a large bag here is $15, and then I'm guessing they're charging for shipping. If we scroll down here, the shipping cost is $5.75. So their pricing on this listing, which is selling, we know for a fact it's selling, their pricing is actually in line with what we would be charging. Now, if I pop open these statistics here again, Everbee is estimating about 300 plus monthly sales here, and this listing is only 11 months old. Now, another thing that Everbee's Chrome extension really can help you out with is tags. On individual listings like this, they make it really easy to see all of the tags that this listing is using, and it helps you identify the search volume for the tags as well as the competition. Or you can also do it really easily on their Chrome extension when you have the product analytics open by just clicking on the tag analyzer button here in the corner. That will pop open a list of all the tags that are on all of the listings that you've analyzed. So all 69 of the listings that were analyzed here, it's going to show you all of those tags as well, again, as the search volume and the competition for them. And then you're also going to find some much more specific tags that have a lot less competition, but still have good search volume. So I really like to use this tag analyzer when I just feel stuck. If I feel stuck where I'm like, I don't know how to fill up all 13 of my tags, I just run a quick product analyzer on Everbee, and then I click the tag analyzer and I look for good opportunities like these. All right, so that's the cotton tote bag, and it seems like our pricing on Teelaunch would line up with competition in terms of that particular product, and there definitely are niche opportunities for tote bags. Now let's take a quick look at that cutting board. I'm gonna go to kitchenware here, and here's where you're gonna see they have more than one cutting board option. They've got a hardwood paddle, which has the handle on it, the hardwood oval, which is the one, that's the sample we got, and then they have the maple cutting board, which also has a handle in it. So for the sample we got here, we have variable pricing by size. We've actually got 2 colors, and then we have 2 sizes, small and large. So the small size that we got was $9.25 for the cutting board, and then $5 for the shipping. The large size is $21.50, and then $6 to ship. The large size is 8.5 by 11, and that small size we got is 5.5 by 8. So let's just calculate the small size for the one we got. So $9.25 and $5. Come back to Everbee here and we'll put that in. So total cost on the small size of $14.25. Let's see what our retail price would need to be there. If we did a retail price of $19.99 for the small size for the product price and a shipping price of $5, that would yield a 31.7-ish% profit margin, or $7.92. So again, I'm gonna start with a very general search here. I'm just searched for cutting board. And then again, let's see what Everbee can tell us. Our product analytics, again, are gonna lead us in kind of a similar direction here. It's looking like the majority of the top sellers, once I sort it to the top sellers, it's looking like the majority of these are personalized. But let's look at the keyword research tool as well, not just the listing analyzer. If we come over there and look at our cutting board search term here, we do have high competition. We've got good monthly search volume for cutting board on Etsy, but over 100,000 competition there. One thing I really like about this feature here is that we can click on filters, and I can say I only want to see 6,000 competition or less. I can also put in a minimum search volume, so I get rid of anything with really low search volume. So let's put in 100 monthly searches and maximum 6,000 competition. Now I've also sorted this by search volume, so it's gonna go in descending order, highest search volume first, and now we're not gonna see any of the like crazy high competition. So let's just see if we can find anything that maybe is a niche to explore. Charcuterie boards incorrectly spelled is a popular search term on Etsy. Surprise, surprise. Gifted cutting board is an interesting, possibly like for a tag that you would use on a listing. Custom cut board is another one, maybe for a tag if that's 20 characters or less. So we're not really getting any super ideas here other than identifying that personalization is what everybody seems to be looking for. So as far as top sellers go here, it seems like personalization might be the way to go for cutting boards. I do think there's probably some more variety that you could try and introduce here from a design plus personalization rather than just the text, because a lot of these are only text. So having some type of graphic element could be an opportunity. Lastly, let's take a look at mugs and drinkware in general here on Teelaunch, because they do have some pretty cool options. Now, they have what they call full wrap mugs, but then they also have regular mugs, which are not listed as full wrap. So for example, here is the 11-ounce white full wrap mug. Now, what that means is the design wraps from one side all the way around the mug to the other. So if you have a design more landscape, horizontal, that does wrap around the mug, or that you want to wrap around the mug, you would use the full wrap option. The pricing is $2.99 for a white 11-ounce with $6 shipping. And for the white color full wrap, they do have that in 11-ounce and 15-ounce, and they also have it in a 15-ounce accent mug, and then 11-ounce magic mugs, as well as black mugs. So you've got the full wrap option on multiple mug options here. You've also got the camping metal style mug. You've got regular accent mugs, regular black mugs. Now, where it doesn't say full wrap, that would be the sample that I got. Here's the 11-ounce white mug. So this is not a full wrap, meaning you can't have a design that wraps all the way around it if you go with this option. The pricing is the same, I think. Yes, it is. $2.99 plus $6 shipping in the United States. Now, before we move on, I want to point out one quick thing about the design process for the mug. If we do the regular 11-ounce white mug, not the full wrap one, this is what I got the sample of. And I actually think they make it very easy for you, even though this is super basic and not super customizable. You have to make your design in this exact dimension, 1125 by 1125. Otherwise, it won't upload. But what they do for you, once you do upload artwork that matches those dimensions, they just automatically maximize the sizing and the placement for you. You can upload an image to both sides, so it prints on both sides, of course, with the tabs here. They don't make you do any of the placement, any of the guesswork. They just maximize the sizing for you and they center it. So super easy. If you do the full wrap size, then you have to upload the design in 2475 by 1155. And again, you cannot customize the placing of it. So if you do this, this, it's a little trickier because you're going to be the one responsible for making sure it's centered on the left and right side of the mug if that's what you're doing. I personally would just not bother with the full wrap unless my design truly was full wrap. So let's do our pricing on that. $2.99 for the mug, $6 for the shipping is $8.99. That is actually in 2024, even though this is a very basic product of 11-ounce white mug, that is a good price. So if I charge $12.99 for my 11-ounce mug and $4 for shipping, I'm going to get a profit of $5.94 or 34.9, almost 35%. You could even add $1 to that and get like 38% profit. So that is a competitive price for a basic white mug. With mugs, because there is demand for mugs as a gift for a lot of different niches, you don't have to start super high level in general. You can pretty much start with any niche and just take a look and see if there is demand for mugs. You know, right now it is getting to be late April, so there's a lot of shopping for Mother's Day going on in the United States. So if I just run Mother's Day gift as a search here and then start scrolling down, I've sorted this by monthly sales volume. So if we just take a look, we're in the top sellers for Mother's Day gift search on Etsy, and we've already run into 2 mugs. In pretty much any search category, you're going to find some mug opportunities. It's just a matter of the level of competition and then sub niches. Searching for niche opportunities for mugs, it's very similar to t-shirts and apparel. Really, you're just starting with a niche idea and then looking for sub niche opportunities or cross niche opportunities where the competition might be a little bit lower, but you don't have to look far to find niches that are applicable for mugs and opportunities to make good mug sales. Now, if I take a look at a more specific search like Mother's Day mug and do some product analysis here, one of the things I'm going to see is there are some personalized options here. Here's one where it's personalized with the, I think, birth dates or birth month. Yep, so there's some opportunities here for personalized mugs as well. Just like any other of these products, you can certainly go the personalized direction with mugs and do pretty well, especially for holidays like Mother's Day, Father's Day. And also don't forget about that tag analyzer if you're running out of tag ideas. I like using this to fill up all 13 of my tags. All right, let's finish up our catalog review here by looking at just a couple things I didn't get samples of, because in the drinkware category, I see some pretty cool things here that I don't see from other print-on-demand sellers. One of them are this style of tumbler, and there's more than one shape here. There's a 22-ounce tall one, but I also really like these wine tumblers. This is the style where this is like laser cut out of the coloring. So this, what you're seeing below is actually the stainless steel. So instead of being printed on there, it's actually like cut out of the color wrap. And I think that looks pretty cool. And the pricing on these, $15 plus $7 for shipping. I mean, this is a more premium product, so I feel like these might be an interesting option as well. And then you've also got things like jewelry here on Teelaunch. This cuff bracelet is one that I think is pretty cool. You can get this in 3 different finishes. Basically, you print anything you want on here. You can use any font that you want as long as it's the right, the right sizing for the print file. They come in a little gift box. They're only $10 and it's $5 for shipping. So this is another like personalized potential gift option. Obviously, the product's not going to be unique to other products on Etsy, but your design and your the phrase that you put on it could definitely be unique. So I am kind of seeing a trend here for some of the products in Teelaunch's catalog. So let's wrap this video up with my conclusion. So what's my final verdict on Teelaunch? Would I recommend it to print-on-demand sellers? Well, yes and no. I personally don't find Teelaunch to be the one-stop shop, get all of my fulfillment done type of print-on-demand platform. And honestly, none of them are for me. Printify is the closest thing I have to a one-stop shop where I could get everything fulfilled. Where I think Teelaunch is a viable option, and I would recommend it, would be for shops where you're going to specialize in one or a couple types of products that Teelaunch offers that either nobody else offers or that Teelaunch's pricing is competitive. For example, if you're going to do mostly mugs for your print-on-demand shop, not having to pay for a premium account to get their pricing on mugs, I think is an advantage of Teelaunch. They have nice competitive pricing for their drinkware, and you don't have to pay for a premium tier account or qualify for a premium tier account to get this pricing. So if you're going to do mostly drinkware in your shop, I do think Teelaunch is a good option. And if you're going to do mostly personalized gift items, things like the cutting boards or the jewelry that we saw, those are also items that I think their prices are relatively fair and are supported by personalization, because you can always price a little higher if you're going to do personalized gifts. However, if you're going to focus mainly on apparel, that's where I wouldn't really recommend Teelaunch as my first choice, because I think their apparel prices are a little bit higher than I would want to be charging to be competitive. If you're selling a lot of like text-only t-shirts and sweatshirts, customers generally don't want to pay a ton for those really basic type designs. And so their pricing might be a little bit high and kind of keep your profit margins a little thin. If you're focusing mostly on apparel, I would say Teelaunch wouldn't be my first choice. If you're focusing more on personalized gift items or the other drinkware they have in the catalog, that's where I think Teelaunch kind of shines a little bit, even though their website and their design upload process is a couple of steps behind Printify and Printful. So that's my conclusion on Teelaunch for right now, which is early second quarter 2024. If Teelaunch makes significant changes to their website, their user interface, or their catalog, I will make an updated video in the future. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Teelaunch. Let me know if you use Teelaunch and what your experience has been with them. Don't forget to subscribe to the POD Insights channel, and while you're here, why don't you check out one of my other videos? I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.